This is pelvis. First of all, we'll go around the boundaries, and secondly, we'll go on the outer surface and inner surface. Pelvis is the lowermost part of the abdomen, and it connects the spine to the acetabulum. So the boundaries first. This is pubic symphysis. Here is attached the linea alba. Here is attached the dorsal ligament of pelvis. The dorsal ligament of pelvis passes the dorsal vein of penis. So in case of injury to the dorsal vein of penis, there is priapism, that means painful erection of the penis. Then lateral to it is the pubic crest. Here arises the pyramidalis muscle. Then there is pubic tubercle. On the pubic tubercle, coming from the anterior suprailiac spine to the pubic tubercle, is the inguinal ligament. The inguinal ligament has got four parts. It has got the Poppard part, which ASIS to pubic tubercle. It has got a lacunar part. It has got a pectineal part, and it has got ligamentum reflexum. The lacunar part of the ligament between lateral to the pubic tubercle is the notch for the artery, vein and nerve. So there is the lymph node of Clockway, then there is the vein, the artery, the nerve. The lacunar part of the ligament has an artery which is a branch of the inferior epigastric artery which is coming in the inguinal canal, which goes on the lateral part of the lacunar ligament and goes to meet the obturator artery. This is called as the accessory obturator artery. This artery can get damaged when you are trying to approach a fracture surgically, and it can bleed from both ends, from the obturator side end and from the inferior epigastric side end, and it retracts. It's difficult to control. Therefore, this artery is also called as corona mortis. Corona mortis. Then you have the lymph node of Clockway, the vein, the artery, the nerve. Then you have what is called as the pectineal eminence. The pectineal eminence gives rise to the pectineus muscle, which goes and gets inserted onto the linea aspera of the femur. So this is the pectineal eminence. Then there is a notch which gives place to the psoas major muscle. And this psoas is held by the iliacus, which is from the inner side of pelvis. Then you have the anterior inferior spine. The anterior inferior spine gives rise to the straight head of rectus femoris. The reflected head of rectus femoris arises from on top of the acetabulum. So straight and reflected heads of rectus femoris and the iliofemoral ligament or Y-shaped ligament of Bigelow, which arises from the ASIS, anterior inferior spine, and gets inserted onto the intertrochanteric line. This Y-shaped ligament of Bigelow is the strongest ligament in the body, and it is around this ligament that you do the reduction of posterior dislocation of hip, and therefore this is the basis, this ligament is the basis. You have to keep it relaxed during the entire reduction of posterior dislocation of hip, and therefore this ligament is the basis of the Bigelow method of reduction of posterior dislocation of hip, BIGELOW. Then here you have the iliacus in the next notch here, and here is the anterior suprailiac spine. The anterior suprailiac spine gives rise to the inguinal ligament and the sartorius. Okay. Then we go on to the other part. So this is the iliac crest. This iliac crest is convex in the anterior 2/3 and concave in the posterior 1/3. See, it is convex in the anterior 2/3 and concave in the posterior 1/3. The anterior 2/3 has got three lips. Inner lip, transversus abdominis. The intermediate lip, internal oblique. The outer lip, external oblique. All these are muscles of the abdominal wall. Then in the outer lip you have a tuberosity, which is called as the iliac tuberosity. From this arises the tensor fascia lata. This is about the anterior 2/3 of the iliac crest. The posterior 1/3. See, the anterior 2/3 is convex outwards. The posterior 1/3 is convex inwards. The posterior 1/3 of the iliac crest is divided by a straight line into an outer half and inner half. The inner half gives insertion to the quadratus lumborum. The outer half gives insertion to origin to latissimus dorsi. Then you have the posterior superior iliac spine. This spine forms a dimple on the back, and therefore this posterior superior iliac spine is a very important landmark. Then you have the posterior inferior iliac spine. Now between the posterior superior and posterior inferior iliac spine, there is this tubercle like area which gives insertion to the dorsal sacroiliac ligament. Okay, so this is the posterior superior iliac spine, this is the posterior superior iliac spine, this is the posterior inferior iliac spine. Then you have the greater sciatic notch. So from the anterior surface of the sacrum arises the piriformis muscle. It passes through the greater sciatic notch and gets inserted into the tip of the trochanter. Then there are structures that pass from the greater sciatic notch above the piriformis and below the piriformis. Above the piriformis you have the superior gluteal artery vein and nerve, SGAVN, superior gluteal artery vein. Below the piriformis you have the inferior gluteal artery vein and nerve. Then you have three nerves and pin structures. लिखते जाओ. तीन नर्व्स हैं, sciatic nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh and nerve to quadratus femoris. और पिन स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं. पिन स्ट्रक्चर ये होते हैं जो कि ग्रेटर sciatic नॉच से बाहर निकल के लेसर sciatic नॉच में दे एंटर. एंड द पिन स्ट्रक्चर्स आर pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery and nerve to obturator internus. Right? Then you have the ischial spine. The ischial spine has a ligament which is called as the sacrospinous ligament. And there is a sacrotuberous ligament that arises from the sacrum here, and gets inserted into the ischial tuberosity. So above the sacrospinous ligament is the greater sciatic notch, and below it is the lesser sciatic notch. Besides the pin structures that enter through the lesser sciatic notch, there is the obturator internus tendon, which arises from the obturator foramen and the obturator membrane, and it winds round the lesser sciatic notch and goes and gets inserted into the posterior border of the trochanter. This tendon is helped by a superior gemellus muscle and a inferior gemellus muscle. So a tendon between two muscles is called as the triflagellate tendon. Alright. Now lesser sciatic notch therefore would pass the pin structures and obturator internus tendon. Then you have the ischial tuberosity. The ischial tuberosity has a quadrangular upper portion and a triangular lower portion. The quadrangular upper portion is divided by an oblique line, like this, into an upper lateral and a lower medial portion. The upper lateral gives rise to biceps femoris. The lower medial gives rise to semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Then the triangular portion of the ischial tuberosity is divided into an outer half and an inner half. In the outer half arises the ischial head of adductor magnus. In the inner half lies the Alcock's canal. Then you have the inferior ramus of the pubic symphysis. This is called as the ischiopubic ramus. This gives rise to the perineal membrane. This gives attachment to perineal membrane, which divides the perineum into a superficial perineal pouch and a deep perineal pouch. And in the superficial perineal pouch, you have the origin of the corpora cavernosa is attached here, and corpora cavernosus muscle is attached here. So the corpora cavernosa from both sides and the corpora spongiosa from the center of the perineum, they form the three roots of penis, which are held up by the dorsal ligament of penis. And so we have come back to the pubic symphysis. To revise, pubic symphysis, linea alba, dorsal ligament of penis, dorsal vein of penis, pyramidalis, pubic tubercle, inguinal ligament, four parts of the inguinal ligament, lacunar ligament, the corona mortis or the accessory obturator artery, lymph node of Flocquet, vein, artery, nerve, pectineal eminence, pectineus muscle, psoas, notch for the psoas major, anterophilic spine, iliofemoral ligament, straight head of rectus femoris, curved head up here, iliacus, ASIS means inguinal ligament, and sartorius muscle, and the lateral cutaneous nerve of passes under it. Sometimes the lateral cutaneous nerve passes through the inguinal ligament, and there it can be entrapped and cause paresthesia and hypoesthesia on the anterolateral aspect of thigh. This condition is called as meralgia paresthetica. It is called as meralgia paresthetica. Then you have the iliac crest, inner lip, transversus abdominis, middle lip, internal oblique, outer lip, external oblique, iliac tuberosity, tensor fasciae lata. Then you have the latissimus dorsi and quadratus lumborum. Between the external oblique, the latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi is coming like this. External oblique is coming like this. There is a triangular space. Posterior boundary latissimus dorsi, anterior boundary latissimus dorsi, posterior boundary latissimus dorsi, anterior boundary external oblique, lower boundary iliac crest. It is through this that if you rupture the thoracolumbar ligament, you arrive inside the abdomen, in the area of the kidney. So this is the approach to the kidney, and this is also the approach to the psoas abscess. Okay, between the external oblique anteriorly, external oblique anteriorly, latissimus dorsi posteriorly, and iliac crest. You go through the thoracolumbar ligament, and you are in the region of iliac fossa and in the region of kidney. Okay. Then the posterior part of the iliac crest, latissimus dorsi, quadratus lumborum, posterior superior spine, posterior inferior spine. Posterior superior spine, you feel the dimple. Then the greater sciatic notch, ischial spine, lesser sciatic notch, sacrotuberous ligament, sacrospinous ligament, piriformis, superior gluteal artery vein and nerve, inferior gluteal artery vein and nerve, 3 nerves, pin structures. 3 nerves, posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, nerve to quadratus femoris, the small one, and the sciatic. Pin structures, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery, nerve to obturator interns. Then one thing more that emerges out of lesser sciatic notch, obturator interns. Then ischial tuberosity, upper quadrilateral portion divided into biceps femoris, semimembranosus, semitendinosus. Lower triangular portion, Alcock's canal, adductor magnus. Ischiopubic ramus, perineal membrane, outside the perineal membrane, corpora cavernosa and corpora cavernosus muscle. With corpora spongosa, they make the root of penis, which is attached to the dorsal ligament of penis, which is pierced by the dorsal vein of penis. Correct? Now we'll make it. Now we'll make this. Focused? Focus, correct?
Yes.
This is pubic symphysis. This is the rim of pelvis, pelvic rim. This is the auricular process. This is the dorsal tubercle. This is the posterior superior spine. This is the posterior celiac spine. This is greater sciatic notch. This is ischial spine. This is lesser sciatic notch. This is ischial tuberosity. This is ischiopubic ramus. Here you make the obturator foramen. Here is the pubic crest. Here is the pubic tubercle. The notch for artery, vein and nerve. The pectineal eminence. The notch for psoas major. Anterior inferior spine, giving rise to straight head of rectus femoris and iliofemoral ligament. Anterior superior spine, sartorius and inguinal ligament, and the iliac crest. The iliac crest, transversus abdominis, internal oblique, external oblique, and then the iliac tuberosity, tensor fascia lata. Then the lumbar triangle of Petit, which we told you, and then in the posterior 1/3, the quadratus lumborum inside and latissimus dorsi outside. The posterior superior spine, the dorsal sacroiliac ligament, the posterior inferior spine. Here we'll place the sacrum. Here we'll place the sacrotuberous ligament. Here we'll place the sacrospinous ligament. From the sacrum we'll make the piriformis go outside to get inserted into the tip of the femur. Above the piriformis we'll say superior gluteal artery, vein and nerve. Below the piriformis we'll say inferior gluteal artery, vein and nerve. Then we'll say 3 nerves and we'll say pin structures. The 3 nerves are posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, nerve to quadratus femoris, and sciatic nerve. The pin structures are pudendal nerve, internal pudendal artery, and nerve to obturator internus. Okay. The pin structures get out from the lesser sciatic notch and then they come into through the lesser sciatic notch, get out from the greater sciatic notch, come through the lesser sciatic notch, lie here in the Alcock's canal. So there's the Alcock's canal here, and then enter the deep perineal pouch. So here is the perineal membrane. Here is the deep perineal pouch. So all these pin structures will enter the deep perineal pouch. And here is the superficial perineal pouch. It bounds the scrotum and the perineum. Alright. And then gets into the ligament of the penis and then goes into the abdominis carpus fascia. So here you have the corpora spongosa supported by corpora cavernosa from both sides, and this forms the root of penis, okay, which is attached here by the dorsal ligament of penis, and through this passes the dorsal vein of penis, which goes into the plexus of veins around the bladder. And if there is a diastasis of pubic symphysis injury here, then there can be priapism. All right. So this much for today.